Jon Stewart suffers gruesome injury on Daily Show set as segment goes awry. Okay, he cut his hand. It is pretty bad. And I liked a lot of what Jon Stewart was saying. He was doing this bit where he's basically like, yo, we need cheaper drug prices at corporations. Why are we subsidizing? And then I'm like, great point. And then he bangs a mug on the table and then looks down and goes, oh, hides his hand. Later on, lifts it up, blood everywhere. And he said that he's going to be going to the hospital very soon. Now, the interesting thing about the bit is not that he bashed his hand open and is bleeding quite a bit. It's that he's trying to play this Democrat moderation game, where he's basically saying Democrats come back from the brink of oblivion and criticizing DOGE while kind of praising DOGE. The whole thing's rather interesting. Following this, a viral trend. Jon Stewart suffers a gruesome injury on Daily Show. Oh, come on, guys. I'll let them do the clickbait and I'll react to it. How about that? The Daily Show host worked through a bloody hand injury during the show's opening monologue. I don't know that it was an opening monologue. I think the whole video it's closer to the end of the episode. And he's got this mug and he's making a joke. He's going after Elon and Trump, saying that they're targeting the wrong things and that DEI is not the problem. This is the moderation game we talked about. If Democrats lost and they know that DEI and all stuff is deeply unpopular, the game they're trying to play is, okay, well, it is stupid, but look at how the corporations are ripping us off and how we're subsidizing it, to which we all agree. So I like what he's saying. Let's bring Jon Stewart back to earth. Maybe in a couple of years, the Democratic Party will have purged the far left nonsense. Here's a story from Huffington Post. They say Jon Stewart accidentally cut open his hand on Monday night's Daily Show after shattering a mug on his desk as he railed against the pharmaceutical industry. Hey, we're all there with you, buddy. Stewart spent much of the time of the opening monologue criticizing Trump and Elon Musk's effort to make budget cuts via their DOGE. Stewart called himself DOGE curious, said he would also like to eliminate waste, fraud, and abuse, then went after the effort for instead targeting everyday workers and relatively low-cost programs. Spare me. That's the lie. That's the trick. We'll get into that. He slammed DOGE for not taking on the oil industry, which reaps billions in government subsidies, and the pharmaceutical companies, which develop drugs with the help of taxpayer money. Bro, let me just stop you there. None of us are big fans of the pharmaceutical industrial complex, but subsidy, not cash. Okay? Tax subsidy, not cash. Let me break this down for the left. This is how they're lying to you guys. When they say, did you know that they give $3 billion in tax subsidies to that company? They're basically saying they're giving them a discount. You can't spend a discount. If I said, if you come and buy a skateboard from boonieshq.com, right to Arm Bears, and we'll give you $10 off, you don't instantly have $10 to go buy a cheeseburger dinner. You have still the same amount of money. And if you want the skateboard, it's a little less. That's tax subsidy. So by all means, if you're upset about it, I'm here with you, buddy. We shouldn't be subsidizing. We got to negotiate these things better. I'm not super concerned about the oil industry, to be completely honest. Hey, look, you got these far left activists now gumming up, putting spray in Tesla chargers. I thought climate change was a problem. So I'm not going to believe you on this one. But the idea that Elon Musk and DOGE can cut costs by targeting tax subsidy makes literally no sense. So let's just do this, though. I do like a lot of what Jon Stewart is saying. He's the only funny guy the Daily Show's ever had to this day. He's barely on. And here's the view in question. This is an opening monologue. It's 20 minutes. Let me show you the video. The injury's not gruesome. You never really see anything. He got a cut. It's no big deal. But I want you to hear what he has to say, and we'll break it down. At the same time, yeah, it's viral and trending that he cut his hand open.
Because we've already paid for it with our subsidies. Are you saying? Come on!
Uh-oh. So that's the moment where he breaks the glass. It's obviously a prop mug meant to be broken. Little mishap there. Yeah. Uh-oh.
I'll be going to the hospital soon. What we do with pharmaceutical companies is like the worst Shark Tank deal in f***ing history. Well, we're asking for billions of dollars of your money. Oh, what do we get, 10% of your company? No. Do we get a discount? No. What do we get? Have you checked your perineum? We live in the upside down. And don't blame the corporations. They are profit-seeking psychopaths that need the lowest wages and the cheapest raw materials to drive their highest profits.
I'm going to pause and say, I absolutely agree with that. Not the individuals, but the structure of corporations literally do rely on exploitation. Now, hold on. I am not talking about the leftist, Marxist, you're being exploited. I'm saying constantly looking for the path of least resistance is in the structure of corporations. I agree. This is why government should regulate to make sure that as the path of least resistance is being traveled through, we block off any holes for critical infrastructure and to avoid scams and such so that it flows in the proper direction. Some resistance is okay.
Do we, the taxpayers, subsidize their psychopathy?
Agreed.
That's the waste, fraud, and abuse in our system.
He's still talking about taxing more. He's not talking about getting your money back. Okay, this is what Jon Stewart either doesn't understand or is intentionally obfuscating. Okay, the issue is my money, your money, our money is taken and put into garbage programs. The argument that corporations get tax subsidies, effectively discounts on their taxes, should be targeted says nothing of them taking our money and putting it into garbage programs. Bro, I'm with you. I don't like these pharmaceutical companies getting subsidized. I don't like them getting freebie sweetheart deals. I don't like them running commercials. I don't like medication mandates. But that doesn't change the fact that what Jon Stewart is saying is tax everyone more. His response to, we've got waste, fraud, and abuse in government. People are spending your money on gender studies and stuff like that. That's not the issue. Don't target that. Tax the corporations instead. And I'm like, whoa. Can we do both? Can we, I don't know, stop taxing the average person and put the burden on larger pharmaceutical monopolies? You know, look, I am not some far leftist. I'm also not a big conservative. I got no problem saying I think the government should regulate these massive multinational corporations that are selling us down the river. John, take us home.
That's it. That's what we should be going after. Not the fantastical, overgenerous terrorist condom allowances.
Wait, what? Check this part out. This is where it gets nuts.
Another program, $50 million plus another $50 million for condoms for Hamas. You know about that? $100 million for condoms. Condoms. Does everybody know what a condom is?
You delivering this speech in an elementary school? Why wouldn't
you? Come on, John. I get you're making quips, but you should be laughing with Trump, not quipping at him. Trump is making a joke. He's pushing the exaggeration. Do you guys even know what that is? What they're spending money on? $100 million for condoms in Gaza? That was a real thing. And they shut it down. John should be saying, why are we spending money on that?
Why wouldn't they know what condoms are? Look, capitalism is by definition exploitative.
I'm going to pause there. Yes. Doesn't mean it's bad. Exploit doesn't, look, there's different ways to view the word. You can view it mechanically. Like I'm looking at a computer system and found an exploit, a means by which I can bypass a certain system and access. You're not stealing from anybody. An exploit, it's a means, a path of least resistance. Capitalist systems, trade enterprise at the largest levels are trying to find the path of least resistance. Carry on, John.
It's how it operates. That's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
But then government's role should be to ease the negative effects on Americans of that exploitation.
Completely agreed. Now, the degree to which we move in that direction is up for debate. Where and how far the regulations should go is a deep question. In West Virginia, for instance, one of the problems we're having is that the state has banned independent contracting. And you've got these union scumbags lying, claiming that's not true. But you go ask anybody out there and they're going to be like, yeah, you can't do it anymore. They're trying to double tax top talent. We can't bring talent into the state. They're telling us that we got a dude. He sends us, hey, I filmed this video. Do you want to buy it? We say, sure. That's an employee, they said. We got to make sure you're not exploiting people. Exploiting people? I bought a video from a guy. Nope. They're saying we have to hire him full time. Otherwise, we can't buy a video from him. That is overregulation. But I do believe some regulation is still good. Just because bad exists doesn't mean you don't get rid of all of it. Sometimes corporations do cause problems through exploitation.
Not subsidize that treachery with our money. We're getting f***ed at a Diddy party, and they're making us buy the baby oil.
That is what DOGE is targeting. So Jon is trying to play this game where he's like, I'm against Elon and Trump. They're bad guys. He says, I'm DOGE curious because how do you actually argue against a popular idea? That's the game he plays. You go to the average person and you say, how would you like to cut the wasteful spending and abuse in government? They're going to say yes. Jon's going to pull the redirect. Well, you are right. We, of course, want to do that. But shouldn't we deal with tax subsidies? And you get average people being like, yeah, that's a good point. Why are we getting screwed over at a Diddy party and buying the oil? And then Jon says, great, join me and my team, and we will take care of their subsidies, which in turn is him saying, if the tax base is $1 million, hypothetical number, he's not talking about cutting that tax burden down on you. He's saying we'll just take more from them. And that doesn't change the fact that you're still buying the baby oil. Nothing that Jon Stewart is saying is talking about you spending less. He's talking about getting rid of discounts for corporations to increase their tax liability, but will not reallocate any of your tax funds back to you. I think he's going to look at his hand at some point.
Look, man, I want DOGE to work. I want better efficiencies. I want to get rid of the alphabet agencies that don't do enough.
Agreed.
Make the Pentagon pass an audit.
Yes, yes, yes.
But we are doging in the wrong place if we want to really change the system.
No, Jon, no.
Companies like Walmart, McDonald's make billions of dollars in taxpayer-subsidized profits, yet many of their hardworking employees need taxpayer-subsidized public assistance.
Technically correct. That's what he's saying, assistance. What these companies have been accused of is they pay so little that their employees actually qualify for welfare. And then they're working full-time at Walmart and collecting welfare checks, which means we got to pay. And then by dropping those wages down to these big corporations, they get to make a profit. I agree, Jon. We can deal with that. That's a good point. So how do you do it? It's tough. So long as welfare is available, these corporations can make this exploitative move. So what do? The argument for many people is to increase the minimum wage, but that will just result in a shock to the system, layoffs at small businesses, and a consolidation of power at the highest levels. That's a fact. I didn't make that up. Go to any accountant and ask them. Now, getting rid of welfare, pulling the rug out from people in the middle of the night, that's going to leave people in trouble. But I do believe the welfare programs that as it's structured, allows these corporations this move. I don't know that a minimum wage solves the problem if all it's going to do is harm small business. Perhaps then we restrict the ability of people to collect welfare if they are working for these corporations. It's not so easy. The corporations aren't going to want to play ball. Minimum wage doesn't guarantee a problem solved. It creates more problems, and there's no easy answer. But I can tell you this, Jon, what you're arguing is not in line at all with what Trump and Elon are doing. You're talking about two different problems. And he says we're doging in the wrong direction. All he's really saying is, yeah, sure, I get it. We want to get rid of these agencies too, but we should do this instead. How about we do both? And if your argument is triage, well, then agree to disagree. But the time cometh for these corporations all the same. You got to understand, Trump and his administration, these people are all largely former Democrats. So, as Jon
Airlines get billions in bailouts that they use in stock buybacks and bonuses. But if you're on food assistance, you're not allowed to buy hot food with it.
I agree. You've still not argued to me, Jon, why we should not be firing these people in the government who do nothing and stop giving money to these weird programs. I don't understand how Jon Stewart can show the $100 million for condoms and then be like, who cares? That to me is incredible, to be completely honest. Let's focus on other things.
Because apparently heated entrees are for winners. We are subsidizing the very system that makes workers' lives harder in the first place.
But once again, he's not telling you the truth. The subsidy he's referring to, that he initially stated, he's pulling the old bait and switch. He said it first, tax subsidy. Does that mean that we're giving money? No. It means that if Corporation A runs a business, they pay 28%. We tell Walmart, we'll cut you a deal. You'll pay 20% if you set up your businesses here because we want the economic activity. That's not giving money. It's cutting a deal. The money doesn't exist. Now you argue, yeah, but if they were paying that, we'd have that money for our programs. Jon Stewart isn't arguing to lower your taxes. He's arguing to increase taxes on them. Your money will still be taken. You're still buying the baby oil you're getting screwed over with. So, bro, how about you triage in our direction first and recognize you're wrong? I hope your hand is all right. I'll leave it there. Smash the like button. Share the show with everyone you know. I think we got more segments or something. I don't know. We'll see y'all at Timcast IRL. Thanks for hanging out.